What are you seeing with this Sean Combs case so far? What should people know?
Well, he's facing life in prison right now, and he's being accused of human trafficking, sex trafficking specifically. And so right now, the prosecutors have to make a case for that. And they might have a case for it. It's kind of iffy. Obviously, Sean Combs, based on the video footage that we've seen, he's not a good person. He's a horrible person, but he's not on trial for assault. And that's what his attorneys keep driving home to the jury. They keep saying, listen, yeah, there's a video of him beating up his ex-girlfriend. It's bad, but that's not why he's here. He's not here because he assaulted her. He's here because they're accusing him of being a sex trafficker. Some type of conspiracy is what they're trying to pitch for him. So the prosecutors do have to make their case on that front. Interesting enough, though, his very pregnant ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, many of you guys know she is the R&B singer. She was signed to Bad Boy. She actually signed a 10-album record deal, which is unheard of, I'm sure, Chad.
That's massive. Yeah.
Yes. That means he probably just wanted control over the rest of her life.
Yeah.
And so she's on the stand right now. She's 8.5 months pregnant. Diddy's lawyers didn't want her walking in front of the jury because they didn't want the jury to see how pregnant she was, to have more empathy for her. The details are a little graphic, so I'll skip out on the specifics of it. I posted on Twitter if you want to read it for yourself. But he did. I mean, it's just they're not even denying it. He did do horrible things to her, but he tried to blackmail her. Sex workers were brought into their relationship, and he had her engage in sexual activities with these sex workers. He filmed it. He used it against her, and he allegedly tried to threaten to go after her if she were to ever go after him or betray him in any manner. So she's on the stand right now talking about that, and she's detailing from her perspective what she witnessed as his girlfriend for almost a decade. So she's walking everyone through that. It's going to get bad because, again, she's sitting here saying, yes, he did beat me. Yes, he did give me drugs. But again, I don't know if they have a sex trafficking case here. This just sounds so far, what we've seen play out, less sex trafficking, more of he's just the scumbag. And I don't know if I don't know if life in prison is really valid for this at this point. But, we're just on day 2 right now. So who knows what could unravel.
Yeah, who knows what's going to come out? That's the thing that whether it's the Jeffrey Epstein case or Ghislaine Maxwell, we want to see. There's always victims, right? And you got to remember that there are human lives that are at stake. There are people who have gone through a lot of pain and trauma. You don't want to continually drum that up every time we talk about it. But inevitably, these details are going to come out. You mentioned he was videotaping his fiancée. He was trying to control her, blackmail her. That's very much what we know was Jeffrey Epstein's MO as well. I don't know that there is still an Epstein list. I think there's video out there, and I think that the details of those videos need to come out. We need to know who is guilty. Certainly guilty in the eyes in the court of the public opinion. Nobody's got a lot of respect for Sean Combs at this stage. But what was their reasoning you wonder if stuff starts coming out, Breanna, what's the over-under on the length of this guy's life? I mean, I don't know that Sean Combs, depending on what comes out, I don't know if this guy makes it another 24 months, if he makes it another 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, Chad, I think it's interesting because I think you were getting to the point of how did this even come about?
Yeah.
This actually, and this weaves into politics. In New York, they changed the law and it wiped out the statute of limitation for those who want to come forward and make sexual assault complaints through the civil courts. And that law was obviously being used to go after Donald Trump. So New York lawmakers did just that so they could file that massive lawsuit. And they were able to do it, right? They were able to just find someone who was able to go out there and say, yeah, decades ago, he sexually assaulted me. And that's their allegations. We don't know if it's true or not, but that's the allegations. That law was used against their own, though. It was used against Andrew Cuomo, who was also hit with sexual harassment complaints. And then Diddy's ex-girlfriend, the same one who's on the stand today, Cassie, filed a lawsuit against Diddy. The next day, she dropped that lawsuit pretty quickly. And that's when more lawsuits became to make their way against Diddy. Why would a normal attorney allow you to settle that quickly? I don't know. Any lawyer would warn you not to settle so fast, let it drag out a little bit. Maybe he thought he was going to be concealing some of the details into her allegations against him by just settling as quickly as possible. But it created a mountain of allegations. And then that's when the DOJ got involved. Everyone knew this, Chad. I mean, you're very familiar with the entertainment industry. Everyone talks. So the fact that it took years for this stuff to come out is an absolute disgrace. But why now, I think, is a valid question. I think it's convenient for all of them to hop on this train and go after people. They did the same thing to R. Kelly. I mean, R. Kelly, we knew when I was a kid that he was a predator. And for some reason, it took them forever to actually go after him. It wasn't until Lifetime made a film and simplified it and dumbed it down for the audience to understand what kind of man he was, did they finally go after him and put him behind prison bars. So again, Diddy's facing allegations, but it's pretty damning. I just don't know if it's criminal at this point.
In the Soviet Union, totalitarianism came with gulags, secret police, and brute force. But in the West, it looks different. It's soft, it's subtle, it comes cloaked in compassion and compliance. Live Not by Lies by Angel Studios is a new docuseries that exposes how this soft totalitarianism is already taking root in America and beyond. Based on Rod Dreher's best-selling book, the series shares the testimonies of men and women who lived through communist regimes and now see disturbing parallels in today's world. They warn of the dangers of conformity, the erosion of religious freedom, and the rise of ideological control in schools and businesses. But this isn't just a warning, it's a call to action, a reminder that truth is worth standing for. If you care about faith, family, and freedom, Live Not by Lies is required viewing and only available on Angel Guild. Join today by visiting angel.com/Dinesh and stream Live Not by Lies along with hundreds of other films and shows. That's angel.com/Dinesh.